Trackhouse Racing has big news to kick off this weekend here from Gateway. They are expanding to a 4-car team as soon as next season, as Connor Zilish will head to the number 00 Trackhouse Honda Civic. As a big reveal came out this weekend, Paj Designs whipped up some incredible schemes for next season for Connor Zilish. They all look absolutely fantastic, and we cannot wait to see one of the Rookie of the Year contenders bring the fight with a top team next season, as he has consistently been the best rookie this season for Andretti Global, which leaves now an open seat at the 3-car Andretti team. Who is going to head to there? That's the big question now. Hello everybody. Welcome back to a brand new episode of our Heat 5 Career Mode. It has been such a thrilling season. I've had so much fun recording this season, and we have an absolute bombshell coming next episode, because next episode we will actually be heading to the Denver Speedway and we will be doing a tire test. A bunch of teams are going to be there, including myself, testing for Toyota, so I'm excited for you guys to see that. But there is some rumors that there is going to be some big announcement coming at the Denver Speedway from one of the manufacturers, very likely going to be Chevrolet, is what is being speculated to be announcing and showcasing the future car for Chevrolet going into season number 5. That is going to be very exciting there, as we look forward to seeing what's going on with Chevrolet's plans for season 5 of this career mode. Now that we can get that stuff out of the way, we can focus in on the racing aspect this weekend. We just came up short last episode in Michigan in the Busch Light Bracket Challenge. Of course, Joey Logano, who's been so much better in recent races, won the $3 million prize over myself, unfortunately, as we now come into this Gateway weekend here with the Komatsu Toyota scheme on our car now, with a goal of a 33.082. The question is, what can we do as we go a little bit wide on the apex here in the center of 1 and 2. Gateway, an interesting racetrack, of course. Both ends of the track, they look similar, but they're quite a bit different. 3 and 4 a little bit wider, and you can really get a little bit more aggressive on the throttle, especially on the exit of 4 right here. Coming to the line, it's going to be right against the goal. We beat the goal actually with a 32.458 and go P5. One of our best qualifying efforts all season long. Wouldn't be shocked if Kyle Larson's on pole. No, it's Denny Hamlin on pole position, William Byron in P2, Chastain Gibbs and myself, Shane Van Gisbergen in P6, Larson, Bell, Blaney, Carruth, your top 10. As you see the rest of the qualifying orders, we scroll down there, you see JRM there, 21st and 22nd. We are likely going to have a conversation with Dale Jr. next time out, actually at the tire test in Denver, and hopefully we can maybe figure out our future there. As we come into this weekend, we had some Xfinity Series action, and it was Brad Perez actually picking up another win on the season. He has done nothing but impress in the Xfinity Series. Could this maybe land him a cup ride going forward? Suarez inside the top 10, Carson Kvapil as well. You see the rest of the finishing order. Andres Perez continuing to run some solid results for his team, but it was Lane Riggs who brought up the back of the grid. Now it's time to set our focus Sunday evening from Gateway here as we try to win our 3rd race of the season.
5 races remain in the regular season as Shane Van Gisbergen fights to remain the last driver in the playoffs. Can Todd Gilliland fight his way in, or could we see a surprise winner jump into the playoffs?
Keep an eye on Penske tonight, guys. They will be strong.
Right, boys, let's see what we can do today. Of course, starting the vibe, great qualifying average, great speed in this car. Let's go forward.
Great car and a great team. Let's win this race, Gary.
Ross Chastain and Keselowski start at the back of the grid. Denny Hamlin on pole as he continues to substitute for Tyler Reddick, who will be back in the 45 car next episode. Reddick will return from injury for the next episode. We are racing from Gateway St. Louis. Denny Hamlin, William Byron lead the field now to the green flag, as of course with the Chastain going to the back, we moved up a row to P4. Kyle Larson in that Larson Lime green machine just behind us. Rajan Carruth going forward a few rows right off the bat as we got Shane Van Gisbergen up our inside, but immediately you can see that 97 is lacking some pace now. He had some lack of pace last episode as well in Michigan, but he continues in that bubble position. We talk about the playoff leaderboard, the bubble situation. It's on your screen right now. SVG, the last guy in by 39 points over Todd Gilliland. Chris Buescher's in a pretty good position. Those are the two at risk. Reddick is 95 points out, and we'll lose even more tonight here from Gateway. And yeah, I mean, with the amount of races we have left here in the regular season, following tonight, we'll have just, 4 races left. Of course, we lose 2 races than usual because of the 2 additional races now in the playoffs for that final 4. Yeah, it's going to be crunch time. Of course, the surprise winner is all it takes to knock SVG out of the playoffs. An Austin Hill repeat. We still have the Daytona regular season finale not far out. We've got a road course coming up with my home race actually in Canada, as Denny Hamlin, although he qualified pole, he's going backwards. Gibbs to the lead, and I'm going to follow my teammate through into P2. Kyle Larson as well closing up here. No surprise there. That 5 car has been unbelievable with now 4 wins on the season. Chase Elliott picked up his 3rd win on the season last time out in Michigan. A great drive there from the Atlanta, Georgia driver now as we continue into turn number 1. I said Atlanta, Georgia, of course the Dawsonville driver, I should say, to be specific now, as we come out of the turn 2, and I'm feeling pretty confident about the pace of this car. We only have 15 laps in stage 1. This is a very short stage compared to the other stages in this race, so you got to get after it, and we have, I feel like, just enough time to kind of learn what we're going to need from this car going into stage 2, which is going to be like double the length of this stage. So as we come to lap 8 now, we're just kind of stalking Ty Gibbs. We got Larson in 3rd, Blaney in P4. We know he's leaving Penske, still uncertain where he's going, but we do know he's going to be in a very competitive ride. He's very confident about his future. We just don't know exactly where it's going to be, but what we do know is there's an announcement coming on Ryan Blaney's future very soon. Speaking of Ryan Blaney, up the inside of the 5 he goes. He's trying to get through into P3. I slide up on the exit of turn 2, starting to lose some grip late in the stage. I know I need to get a pass done on Ty Gibbs because my car's starting to go away. So if I can get past him and put a couple cars between myself and Blaney or Larson, we'll have an opportunity, or put a car between myself, and then we'll have an opportunity to win the stage. And a great run on the exit of turn 4 within a car length. The run down the front stretch. We'll look to the inside of Ty Gibbs, still the defending champion of the Cup Series, is winless this season. Toyota has only had 2 wins, and it's been with myself now, but we take the lead here in Gateway. Blaney, unfortunately for me, is going to follow through immediately. That's not going to make it good for me because Blaney and Larson both follow through. Gibbs drops down to 4th. He is lacking some long-term speed in that car, and I am starting to slip and slide around, and Blaney is closing quickly with 3 laps to go on the stage. It's going to be difficult to hold on, and you can see immediately here as we roll through 3 and out of turn 4, coming to the final couple of laps in the stage. Blaney gets closer and closer pretty well with every series of corners that we run now. With 2 laps to go in the stage, can we hold on as Blaney is within a car length now through 1 and 2, and as we slide up on the exit of 2, Blaney's gonna pounce on it. Ryan Blaney to the inside, wheel to wheel down this back straightaway. Larson not close enough to do anything as we go down into turn 3. We're gonna try and commit to this outside, not make it easy on Blaney, but we miss the apex. We go wide. We fight back though on the exit of 4. We're gonna come back across his rear bumper. White flag for stage 1 is out, and Blaney takes the lead. He's had the most stage wins this season actually of any driver, and looking to add another one to his name today. As we go down into turn 1, following him, we clip the curb and we slide up a little bit more on the exit of turn 2, chasing this car, and that allows Larson back to my inside as well down this back straightaway. So just like my teammate of Ty Gibbs, we fall off hard in the last few laps of this stage as we sail it off into turn 3. Larson's gonna take it from us. Ryan Blaney exits turn 4 to come through to win this first and opening stage. It'll be P2 for Larson, it'll be P3 for myself. 4th and 5th goes to Gibbs and Byron. P6 for Rajan Carruth, Denny Hamlin 7th, Logano 8th, Kyle Busch and Christopher Bell round out the top 10. So everybody going to pit, of course, for 4 tires. Feel caution-free stage number 1. It was only 15 laps, but we're mainly looking to tighten up the car. I was really sliding around at the end there, so yeah, we'll add some wedge to this car. And basically going from a 50.0 to a 50.5. Looking at the rest of the running order, Keselowski's struggling to go forward. He's barely made it into the mid-30s. Chastain going forward as well. We'll see what he can do by the end of this race. We're back racing here from Gateway Stage 2. It's underway. Double the length of Stage 1. 30 laps now as we head down into Turn 1. We'll follow this number 12 Menards Ford Mustang now. Larson on the outside. Gibbs trying to follow through as well. We're trying to throttle up, but the car is going to be a lot tighter on the opening laps of this stage. But we settle into third. Byron trying to get through on and Gibbs as well. The field gets sorted out on this opening lap here in this Enjoy Illinois 300 from Gateway here in St. Louis now, as Ryan Blaney seeking his second win of the season. He has been very consistent this season, and honestly really a bit of a surprise that he's leaving Penske Racing, as he's having a top 5 regular season performance right now. You don't want to risk that, but that tells me that wherever he's going is a really exciting opportunity for Ryan Blaney, who really has the potential to be the face of the NASCAR Cup Series now. Of course, he is such a marketable driver when it comes to real-life conversations anyways. Now, as Kyle Larson trying to put some pressure on Blaney, can't quite pounce on it right there. He stacks up on the exit of 4. We pounce on it there. Can't Larson off guard. A move to the outside. We'll clear him with ease. Now, we pass that Larson lime. Green and black Chevrolet. Such a fantastic paint scheme there on that number 5 as we jump back up into second position on lap 3 of this stage. We know this car definitely fades on the long run. Joey Logano is moving his way forward. He is continuing to climb his way inside this top 5 as we're still just following Ryan Blaney here. Lap 4, about 3 to 4 car lengths between himself and I. And you can see that gap, though, is opening up a little bit now as we head down this backstretch into turn number 3. Larson trying to keep us honest now. Spin on the exit of turn 2. Austin Cindric in the 0-6 for Meyershank goes around into the inside wall. Caution flies. The first caution for cause tonight. And it's going to be the end of the night for Austin Cindric in that final season. Of course, for Meyershank, it's only been 2 seasons in the Cup Series for them, but we know they are shutting down at the season's end now. Cindric still looking for a ride for next season. So we get ready to go back racing here. No pit stops needed. Will be row 1 outside P2. Ryan Blaney leads the field back to the green flag as we take the green flag. It'll be 23 laps to go in this second stage. We have the edge on that 5 of Kyle Larson. 3 wide behind us there. It looks like Byron forced the issue on Ty Gibbs. Chase Elliott 3 wide on the inside as well. Last episode winner now, as they are really going at it back there as Larson gets clear of us. Here comes Joey Logano in that Shell Pennzoil number 22. As we know, he'll be in the playoffs. He's now $3 million richer after that Busch Light Bracket Challenge win as well. It's been very good recently for Joey Logano, who is suspected to be retiring at the end of the season. He announced it, but still, with the whole Penske situation with Ryan Blaney leaving now, there is still some questions about what's going to happen there with Joey Logano. Will he stick around for maybe an additional season, especially now that things have really taken a turn? When Logano announced retirement, he was dropping off a cliff, and he, of course, had a injury last season. Things hadn't been going well over the last season and a half for Joey Logano, and he just really wanted to focus on himself and his health. But now it seems like things are really turning a corner after he announces retirement. What happens with Joey Logano and his future? I think we'll know more soon, as Larson now takes the lead of this race. Is actually getting to the back of the 12 of Ryan Blaney. He slides, he saves it. My goodness, that was all on me. We have had a bit of a record in the recent races of just getting a little bit too aggressive and getting into the back of some people and knocking them out of the way, not intentionally. We did it to Josh Berry last episode in Michigan. We've done it to Ryan Blaney tonight. Fortunately, he saves it and he can still have a solid top 5 run going for him, but that was obviously not what I wanted to do for the stage 1 winner, and that was knocking him out of the way. Now, as we come through to the halfway point in stage 2 and we can just focus on ourselves and the rest of our race, we'll certainly pay it back to Ryan Blaney if there's an opportunity later. If he's on me, we'll let him go. Simple as that. Joey Logano, Justin Haley has worked his way up into the mix now. Watch out for Justin Haley. It's been a pretty miserable season outside of his Phoenix win earlier for Haley. He's definitely been the weak link of RFK this season as we continue to roll through 3 and 4. Larson driving away, but I have got a comfortable gap on the cars behind with 10 laps to go in stage number 2. But yeah, I've got nothing for the 5 of Kyle Larson. Again, it looks like Larson's going to be cruising to a stage victory. We still have to come into the pits before the stage is over, actually. We cannot make it to the end of stage 2, so a pit stop is mandatory here before the stage is over. Now as we roll through 3 and 4, and you can see just trying to find some pace, crash in turn 1, and that's Nick Sanchez again with an accident. Caution is out, and that's going to bring everybody into the pits now for fuel, tires, etc., and as well potential adjustments. I'm making none because I felt like we had the car the best it could possibly be. Ryan Blaney actually beats us out of the pit lane. It goes back to P2. We will be P3 for the restart. Nick Sanchez still in the race. A big impact on the wall in turn 1 and 2, but it's not going to matter. He will continue racing now, as here's the 60 of Justin Haley, who wants to fight for a win tonight as we roll into turn 1 on the restart. Kyle Busch a few rows behind us, having a solid run tonight. He's fallen outside of the top 10 in the regular season standings. I don't think anybody saw that coming with the 2-win season that he kicked off the season with, and it wasn't any fluke wins. You look at the way Kyle Busch's season is gone, you would think 2 wins to his name were a fluke, but no, they were straight up wins. I mean, he was on it in the first couple of races and has since, of course, fallen off a cliff as he kind of returns to that form at Trackhouse that he had in the 99 last season. Now, fortunately for Kyle Busch, unlike last season where he missed the playoffs, he's locked in with the 2 wins, so he could still turn his season around and go on a title run and go for his 3rd NASCAR Cup Series championship. Final lap here in stage 2. Speaking of going for a 3rd championship, Kyle Larson, of course, the 2021 champion and the season 2 champion of our career mode, going for his 3rd title this season. As we head down this back straightaway for the final time, a part of this storyline, Ryan Blaney is not a Cup champion. He's still looking for his 1st. Logano looking for his 3rd. However, as we roll through 3 and 4 for the final time, Kyle Larson will defend the pressure of Ryan Blaney and Justin Haley to win stage 2. We cross the line for P4, so a little bit worse off than we were in stage number 1. Logano gets P5. Rounding out the top 10, actually, Taylor Gray, who's in the number 81 for Joe Gibbs Racing, that 5th part-time car. Actually, a very solid run he had there in stage number 2. Gibbs, Elliott, Busch, Hamlin, all inside the top 10 as well, as we will be staying out here, as we only ran a handful of laps on those tires. SVG, Chastain, P15, P16, Bell having a bit of a rough night in the mid-teens as we get ready to go from P4, row 2 for the 3rd and final stage. I don't think we have the pace to win straight up against a Kyle Larson or a Ryan Blaney, and now maybe even Justin Haley as we take the green flag and get back underway, but I do believe we can still have a solid result here tonight inside the top 5. That's really my main priority at this point. We've kind of come to an understanding of what kind of car we have. It's not the best car, but it's a top 5 car. We're going to make the most of it. That's the crucial thing at this point now. Make the most of the situation that you are presented. We still have over 30 laps to go. Plenty of time for things to change. We've seen some cautions this season in the final stage really turn strategy on its head and, of course, create a totally different winner than what we expected. I think Kyle Larson, he's been screwed out of a few wins this season. He could already have 6-7 wins on the season, but instead has to settle for 4, which is only 1 more than the 9 car of Chase Elliott, who just passed me on the exit of turn 2. We fight back to the outside. Blaney's going backwards. Logano up to 3rd. Haley up to 2nd, putting pressure on that number 5 as we'll clear Elliott into turn number 3, but he fights back up the inside into the corner, so we'll have to leave him the space now as we just patiently let this car roll through the center of the corner. Out of turn 4, we'll continue wheel to wheel, but we would clear Elliott across the stripe. 31 laps to go. We can settle back into this inside line into turn number 1. It's Larson, Haley, Logano, Blaney, and myself, the top 5 right now, as we're all close together now. Blaney trying to find a way around that 22. Haley is keeping Larson under plenty of pressure as this 3rd stage continues to move on, and this group of 5 cars are driving away. Elliott maintains 6th, but he is certainly falling off, and no one else behind him, though, is getting through. So this top 5 group right here just kind of in a league of their own tonight right now. As you can see, Hamlin's behind us trying to put some pressure on Chase Elliott in what will be his final race in the 45, but not his final start of the season. Hamlin was already scheduled to do other part-time races in the 67 car, of course, and we'll see him soon enough again behind the wheel of that 67 for that 2311 racing team as we come towards lap 60 at this point. Still maintaining a good pace, but I just don't have enough. I can't pass the 12. I can't put any pressure on them. We're just kind of lurking and waiting for maybe an opportunity. Green flag pit stumps, of course, could spice things up before this race comes to a conclusion, but you can see we get close to the 12, but can't quite do anything. Bubba Wallace, one of the Bubble drivers with a tire failure, and that's going to be exactly what changes everything. Caution is out, and it's at an awkward time where if we pit, we're only going to be a lap or 2 to the good, so some drivers will elect to remain on the racetrack. We will make a wedge adjustment and we will pit, but it looks like Ty Gibbs will be the first one maybe to stay out. No, he's going to pit now. A bunch of drivers would pit. 14th on forward would stay out. Our teammate, Taylor Gray, in the number 81 part-time car for Joe Gibbs would be the first driver to actually remain on the racetrack. It says a 43, that's just because I forgot to change the number card. That's 81 of Taylor Gray. We're back racing. Larson, the first car on tires, and it's Haley, Logano, myself, Elliott. Where's Blaney? Ryan Blaney is actually maybe at a bad pit stop. He's nowhere to be seen. That's going to screw him over royally now, as we have a chance to jump down to the inside, down the spank straightaway. Ty Gibbs in front of us now. We'll look to the inside. We'll make it 3 wide into turn number 3, trying to not put ourselves into a compromised position. Larson, Logano, Elliott, myself is the net top 4. We do have enough fuel to make it to the end. So if you didn't pit, you're an idiot. Basically is the long story short. Logano to the outside of Larson, who's going to maintain the inside. I think the inside's definitely the way to go. This is the opportunity right here to take the position from Larson. We'll go 3 wide to the inside of that Larson line. Prime number 5 down the spank straightaway into turn 3. We'll pass Connor Zilish in the process. Logano slices to the inside of Larson, who's going to go backwards. And now myself and Logano go P1, P2, at least in the net running order, as we continue to march our way forward. This is, I mean, perfectly working out now, as if this goes green, it's gonna turn into a scrap versus myself and Joey Logano. All of these guys that we're passing right now cannot make it to the end. They are hoping for a caution right about now, really. This is where they want a caution within the next 5 laps. Otherwise, this strategy of staying out, they just look stupid. Corey Heim going in the wrong direction. He's picked up his performance lately, but still not quite on par of where it needs to be in his second season of Cup Series competition. We would pass my teammate of Chandler Smith in the 18. We would pass Chase Briscoe. SVG, one of the drivers that stayed on the track trying to find more points. That's just not going to work now. Logano continues to follow me. Every move I make, he is following immediately. I decide, okay, let's try to pass Shane Van Gisbergen around the outside. Maybe put Logano behind him into turn 3. No, Logano's going to do the same thing as me. He said, okay, I'll pass around the outside too. Logano and myself fought against each other in the finale for the Busch Light Bracket Challenge last episode. Now we might be fighting for a win in Gateway. Taylor Gray leading the way, not for long on the run into turn 1. We'll pass this number 81 Joe Gibbs Toyota, and it will take the position, but still a solid run for him tonight. He was P10 in stage 2. Logano follows through immediately. Ty Gibbs going to try and get into net P3 as well. Don't rule him out. Larson going nowhere, staying in that awkward strategy. I mean, for these other guys, put Larson in a very compromised position, and now with 16 to go, it's turning into a head-to-head battle between myself and Joey Logano. We've been in a couple battles recently. 4 race wins against Kyle Larson at Dover. He held on to us there. Of course, Ross Chastain in overtime in Atlanta. Now we lost out on that one, and we might lose out on another one. A self-inflicted error there out of turn 4. We hit the outside wall. Joey Logano, with just over 10 laps to go, takes the lead of this race. Can we rally back and get to that 22 Shell Pennzoil driver? The answer is absolutely we can. Rolling through 3 and 4 laps, 72 within a car length of Logano now as we exit turn 4. This is our strong part of the track right here. The exit of turn 4 down this front straightaway. We always seem to get a good run through there. And as we roll into turn 3 on lap 73, we're pressuring this Shell Pennzoil machine. And look at the run again. Out of turn 4, this is going to be the opportunity now. In that slipstream of the 22, we'll pull out of line across the start finish. Now 11 laps remain. Up the inside into turn number 1, we will retake the lead of this race. We'll even chop the nose on that 22. A bit of a statement there saying, hey, we are here to fight hard for this victory, looking for win number 3, and most importantly, just trying to put Toyota back in victory lane. It's been since Sonoma in the first couple of races of the season since Toyota, with this brand new Camry body, has managed to find victory lane. I imagine next season this manufacturer is going to be winning a lot of races now as we slide on the exit of turn 2 though. Logano again back to my inside. They're just barely at the left rear, not quite clear as we roll down into turn number 3. We're side by side. We sail it off into the corner now, and Logano is keeping this fight clean and respectful as we exit turn 4 side by side. Joey Logano returns to the lead of this race now with 8 laps to go. One heck of a battle as drivers that didn't pit on that last caution are now pitting, so that strategy did not work out for them. We've seen it time and time again this season where they stay out hoping for a caution. It doesn't work. Another run to the back of Logano again. The same lap he passes us. We go back up the inside into turn 3. We know we can't let that 22 get clear and run away because this car is going to continue to get worse. We know we don't don't have a good long run car. We need to try and maintain the lead. We can't. We slide even into the side of Logano. He clears us on the exit of 4, and Logano opens up about a 3-car length gap. Now, trying to keep him honest in these closing moments of this race, lap traffic is going to play a role if we do not get a caution. You can see up ahead, that's actually Cole Custer for Rick Ware Racing, the first car that we might be approaching now as we're sliding all over on the exit of these corners now, but we're just able to just barely maintain contact. Larson only managing P5. He hasn't been able to go anywhere else. Now 4 laps to go, and Cole Custer is right on our noses as we exit turn 2, as we slide big time there, and Logano's going to open up a bit more of a gap, but Custer's pulling over. He's coming into the pits, getting out of the way of this battle for the win as we approach the final 2 laps of this race, and I just don't have enough to fight Logano. Connor Zilish though backs him up a little bit. Hold on into turn 1 as the tire light comes on now as we slide into turn 1. As we hit the brakes, the car just kicked right out, but we get a decent run on the exit of turn 2, and we still are within striking distance maybe of Logano. It's going to come down to this final lap. Not afraid to move Joey Logano for a win. He's going to go to the outside of Christian Eckes. That allows me to get close. Within a car length coming to the final lap as we roll through 3 out of 4. Logano opens up the gap. We're going to have to rely on turn 3. We have to get through 1 and 2 good and be close enough to move him in turn 3. White flag in the air. Crash in front. William Sawalich just hit the outside wall, and the caution is out, and Logano will win under caution just like he did in Pocono.
Keep your head up, mate. It is what it is. Our luck will turn around.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, guys. That sucks. And now you see the replay of what brought out the caution on the final lap. And that really does suck as Logano gets to celebrate his second win on the season as he has really turned things around. Now, as you see the finishing order, Haley P7, Hamlin in the top 10, just as he's about to hand the wheel back to Tyler Reddick, who will return next episode. Kyle Busch-Caruth in the top 10 as well. JRM, Hocevar, and Gregson, good runs for them there. Zane Smith up inside the top 20 as well. Bowman in P18, a nice run for him. And Josh Berry as well for Colleague Racing in the bottom half of the grid. Of course, only 2 retirements, Bubba Wallace and Austin Cindric. Custer and Zilish, the last drivers, running a rough day for him and a rough day for our teammate of Chandler Smith. The playoff standings just continue to look really interesting. SVG in a very tight margin with Todd Gilliland for the last spot in the playoffs. Of course, about 40 points, just over 40 points there between those 2 drivers. In the regular season standings, however, while Kyle Larson continues to be Kyle Larson and has over a 100-point advantage going into the next episode with just a few races left in the regular season. And that's going to do it for me. Next episode, we head to the tire test in Denver and a very important conversation with Dale Earnhardt Jr. and maybe Chevrolet as well. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.